Number 6, when it comes to developing projections for your adult day center, you have to understand 3 things. So like when I say projections, I'm really talking about top line. Like if I'm looking at a center and I'm trying to figure out, okay, it's X square foot and I think I can have a capacity of X on the low end and of X on the high end. So maybe, 20 on the low end, 40 on the high end, an average of 30, okay? What is the way in which I'm going to bill for services, and how can I figure out what my top line revenue potentially could be in that area? So number 1, you got to figure out is your billing. Are you going to bill hourly? Are you going to bill daily? Are you going to bill weekly? Are you going to bill monthly? How are you going to set up your billing? And then at what price point is that billing going to be set up at, okay? Number 2, you got to ask yourself, how do you plan to structure your operation? Do you want to be open 5 days a week? Do you want to be open on Saturdays? Do you want to be open all 7? Do you want to be open for 8 hours, 9 hours, 7 hours? What's the hours of operation that you would like to choose? And are you going to be open or closed on certain holidays? These are things that you're gonna have to ask yourself, like, how do I want to structure it? What do I want my work-life balance to look like? Is it gonna make sense for us to open on the weekends? You might have to ask, you might open Monday through Friday and then ask your members if they would be interested in opening on the weekends. Something to take into consideration. Last thing to understand is that, say you sign up 20 new members and you're like, oh, we got 20 members. Yes, we're, already more than 50% of our way to our goal of getting 30. Well, there's a daily attendance members and then there's census, because 30 actual members on your census may only actually mean that you have 10 people a day or 15 people a day. So it's gonna depend a lot on your total census, and typically you could estimate somewhere between maybe 40 to 60% of your total census would be your daily attendance. Okay, but this is a number that's gonna vary depending heavily on, is it a private pay model or a Medicaid model? Because those that are private pay, there might be more people on your census and you might have a smaller percentage of those people. Say you have 100 people in your census, but maybe only 40 use your center, right? So understanding that when you're calculating that math, don't just think that every single person that walks in the door becomes a member is like 1 out of your 30 people that you need, because not everyone's gonna come every day. Some people are gonna come 5 days a week, some people are gonna come 2, 1 day a week, maybe 1 day, Wednesday, Friday. Everyone's gonna have different schedules, so it's important to understand that. So what I did here is I kind of gave you an idea of how you would calculate that, right? So you got your daily rate, say it's 100 bucks for the day. You got your, maybe you're gonna be open 5 days a week and you got a daily attendance of 30. Okay, so now you're figuring out, okay, we're open 5 days a week times 52 weeks in a year, but we're gonna take off 5 holidays, so minus 5 holidays, that's 255 days per year that we're open. Assuming obviously there's not a hurricane or a snowstorm or whatever that might close us, and maybe you put some buffers in there to accommodate for that. But now you're 255 days at 30 members per day at $100 per member per day, right? So now you can actually come up with and figure out what your top line revenue potentially could be in that market. Okay, so this is just simple math. Just want to be able to at least give you an outline so you understand how to calculate your top line revenue. Of course, you're gonna have to back in then your overhead, your rent, all these different costs that come up with, to create an actual projection of what you could net. But the reality of it is sometimes people don't even know where to start when it comes to identifying their top line revenue. And you need to figure that out first before you can make sure that it's gonna be a viable business model.
Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like to learn how to open your own adult daycare center, go to adcpro.com. If you'd like the latest business tips, click here, and make sure you subscribe to our channel, click here. We'll see you guys next time.